Good morning. Buggy racing weekend again at Westward Ho, which is a bit closer to where I live. It's only 100 miles away. So it's a PKA round this time. At my club, the SWAT K, will race with them. It's their event, their scoring, so it goes on their scoreboard. So I've done one race with the PKA at Breen, and then I was going to go to Hoy Lake, which is one of the events the venues that I've always wanted to go to, but I just couldn't stretch to it. I slipped up really. What I should have done was planned ahead and gone and visited my daughter, and then the drive from my daughter's wouldn't have been, well, it's only an hour, which I didn't realise at the time. I kind of did and didn't. Like I say, slipped up, should have done that. I'll do it next time. Early start. The sun's just coming up now. Give me enough light to record, and try and catch the best of it. Try and catch most of it. I don't know what the PKA are like with cameras. I think they're alright with cameras. So I was just thinking while I'm driving along, perhaps I can explain a few things for anybody who's interested in looking to get into this sport, or just wants a bit of information, what they can expect. Buggying is now sort of, it's dying down a bit from when it began. I mean, I'm catching it on the tail end, but I'm flying with the guys that were there from the beginning, you know. They were pioneers of the sport. They were responsible for some of the research and development of the kit that we're using. And so now there's a few, what I would call die-harders really. I mean, some of them just seriously love it, and some of them are really sort of serious about it. So it can be a bit full on, but it's quite nice. I mean, I do a lot of things like surfing, alright, enduro, skating, all that sort of stuff, but these people in this club are just so they're so welcoming and so focused on it, you know. They love it, and it's quite nice. A lot of the things that I do are quite a bit of a solo thing really. Not very many, I don't like that many people around me. So anyway, it's been split into two categories now, because in the beginning you had 2-line power kites, then they sort of got on to the 4-line kites, 4 individual lines on 2 handles. So you've got your main lines and your brake lines on these sort of banana handles, and that's the class I fly on. That's the handles class. And then progressing on from that, the kites started developing, getting better, and then they put them on a D-power system, which is like on a bar system, same as the kite surfers. If you've ever seen the kite surfers flying around, and they've got a singular point attachment on their harness, and then they've got a bar which steers them left and right, but they can feed the bar in and out, and they're able to power and depower or sheet the kite, and they've got other little bits of adjustability as well. I don't fly one, don't know much about it, but a lot of the top guys now are flying depower. So we separated the classes in our club. So we've got D-power class and then handles class. D-power's expensive because that's the way of the future of the kiting. So if you want to stay on top of the game, you're buying newer D-power systems. It's top money. But if you're just getting into the sport, you're going to go with the handles class stuff, which is what I'm racing, and you can do it real cheap. I mean, there's plenty of kit out there. Alright, some of it's crap, some of it's experimental. I mean, like, I bought stuff, impulse buys really, just curiosity buys, old stuff. I kind of wanted to educate myself on the history of kiting, so I bought some I bought some pretty weird kites and some clangers really, But I'm glad I did it, because I think it's, you know, it's actually brought my skill set, not that there is much of it, through the kite's evolution up to, you know, I'm on a pretty good kite now. I bought a set of kites off of a club member for very reasonable money, chuffed to bits with that, and now I'm racing. But when I started, I had a kite for 50 quid that would fly in a decent wind, and I had a buggy for, it was
in a quarter of a mile at the roundabout, take the second exit and stay on A39.
It was I can't remember how much the buggy was, but it was under 100 quid. I'm pretty sure it was 90 quid. So for under 150 quid, I was buggying on the beach. Did I know what I was doing? No. I had a rough idea. YouTube's a wonderful thing for getting tips and a basic understanding of how things are happening and what you're supposed to be doing. I was flying, and then for another 50 quid I got myself sorted out with a harness. Now a harness allows you to fly your kite without the pull of the kite on your arms, because it's being fed through the harness instead, which is great. It means you can fly pretty much all day without getting fatigued. You can fly one-handed as well, which is nice on a nice steady wind day. Fantastic. So you got a little pulley system and a swivel system, and when you go racing, the pulley and the swivel system needs to be good. It needs to work. It needs to have the quick release. Needs to work under pressure, under load, and that kit can cost. I mean, that alone can cost you 100 quid. But there's ways around it. I did it cheap. I actually made my own pulley. I got a lathe at home. I got some old skateboard wheel. Just sort of machined myself up a pulley, and then had some aluminium sheet and made myself, you know, I might show it to you one day. And you know, I got by on that for ages. It can be done cheap, and you don't have to. What I'm saying is, you don't have to spend loads of money to see whether you want to do it or not. You know, at worst, you might, you know, throw 200 quid into it and go, it's not for me, and you'll either just leave your stuff there, which is what I have a habit of doing, but I don't like selling things because I like to come back to stuff, or you know, you sell it on maybe at a bit of a loss, but then, you know, you've had a bit of an experience, and that's what it's all about, trying and testing new things, getting into new things. But we're nearly there now. I don't know how long we got. Yeah, it's only half an hour away now. So I'll do my best to video as much as I can of it for you, take it with me on this little trip, and see how we get on in this race series.
Right. Get in.
Get in.
Are you filming?
Yeah, of course I am.
My husband.
Hello. Hello. Come on, let me get in.
Kettle's on. Oh.
slow you down for opening through the gate.
Right, first PKA race, lots of advice and support from, as always, Mark and Ryan. So we're just going to play it as safe as we can, let everybody get away from us really, because this is offshore wind, it's quite fluttery and weird, so we'll see how we go. Got the head cam on today instead of that chest mount. That was a silly idea last time, so be able to see a bit more of what's happening. But you will get a lot of looking around as I'm trying to see what's going on. Conditions, so the kite wants to fucking go all over the place like that. Whoa. There's a worst case scenario right there. I'm going to turn around. Yeah, no, this ain't happening for me. Oh, it's tricky, man.
What's that?
I'm going to try this, but I'm not holding much of it. It's going to be a struggle either way for everybody. They're all struggling. So. Do it. Son of a bitch. Oh, soft there. Don't do it, f***ing bastard. One lap's all I'm after. That's the one. Oh, come on. Come on, this. Come on. Yes. Oh, oh my God. just fuck, what the f behind me all the time? You f tide's coming in there. It's a bit wet, it's a bit wet, it's a bit wet, fucking hell. Sake.